Alright guys, so we have a pretty big leak here to go through for Modern Warfare. We're going to be talking about all three parts of the game here being leaked. Most importantly, co-op. We actually have a lot of co-op information within this leak, and that's pretty cool. I'd rather have a bunch of co-op information right now because that's the most up in the air game mode. We know what campaign's pretty much going to be like, and we can honestly sort of expect multiplayer, but co-op is really, we don't know if it's just going to be exactly like Spec Ops, a whole new world, beyond Spec Ops. We really don't know, so hopefully we'll get some information here in this video. This is actually from the Gaming Revolution. He has a source that has been giving him a bunch of information regarding this game, and it goes through a bunch of different things, not only about Modern Warfare, the game itself, but also some updated information on the Modern Warfare campaigns being remastered for this game, and actually all three of the Modern Warfares might be, ported over for this game to fully have the trilogy alongside this Modern Warfare campaign. So again, we'll get to all of that within this video. If you can leave a like, that'd be greatly appreciated. Subscribe for more, and let's get started here. So here's the image up on screen. We're going to be going through, again, this is the amount of information we have to go through here. A lot of stuff to talk about, and there's a lot of important things here about all parts of the game, and it's very important to what's going to be happening this year for the release of this different content and all these different features that will be coming within this game. So he goes through and says, a few bits of the following information was told to me before it was confirmed, and by the way, I verified it with someone else with a lot of the information. Obviously though, with all leaks, nothing will be 100% as everything is subject to change, and some of this might be outdated, but for the most part this should be dead on. So again, that's just a general statement with leaks. He's saying here, obviously leaks aren't confirmed information. It's leaked information for a reason. It may change, they may switch stuff around, and who knows what's going to happen, but for the most part, he's saying here that a lot of this stuff definitely will happen. So let's start off with co-op. Co-op is a much improved version of Spec Ops. It is not open world and is very similar to Payday. I've seen some people saying that it'll kind of be like The Division, where it'll be an open world zone where you complete missions in a world like defusing the bomb, etc., but apparently that's not the case. It's more so like, hey guys, let's do the mission where we stop the terrorists from blowing up London, and then everyone queues up and it starts the mission. So less open world and more of those classic styled missions, but probably a bit more open in the terms of you have more freedom to move around and do different stuff, rather than just a lot of the old missions from MW2, MW3 where they were pretty linear and you would really move in this one sort of specific direction. So hopefully it's a bit more open, but it's not completely open world. So he goes on to say it's almost like its own multiplayer experience within itself. If you're not a fan of the 3-lane PvP classic COD style combat because of the weapon system has progressed across all game modes, you still rank up your multiplayer skins, etc. in Spec Ops mode, and this is obviously something we know, but also again he's saying here about this map pretty much being, or these different Spec Ops missions being a bit bigger, different 3 lanes potentially, not just the 1 lane that you usually see within a Spec Ops mission. That's definitely a good improvement. It brings it a bit more open as to where you're battling, where you want to fight your enemies, and how you're going to attack a certain zone, how you're going to defuse a bomb or stop this terrorist from doing something. It gives you a bit more of freedom as to what you're doing and how you're going to attack that mission. He goes on to say some stuff about esports. Activision are looking to build it up as an esports mode and planning it to be within the COD World League. That's actually very interesting. So Spec Ops may be a part of esports. So I don't know how exactly they're gonna do that. If people are just gonna be going for times, if there's gonna be some sort of direct battle, that's gonna be very interesting to see. They copied the idea of the operators from Rainbow Six Siege. These are obviously available in multiplayer but have no effects on the gameplay, but they will have varying effects in the co-op mode. This mode is extremely replayable, so much so that my source reckons players will hop on a few sessions every time before they play multiplayer to warm up their gun skills. Missions are a mixture of player versus player and player versus AI missions, so that's pretty cool. Ground War will be 10v10, and this is moving on to a bunch of multiplayer stuff, and they're thinking of having a lot of those 10v10 missions within co-op as well, but they're worried about not being able to fill lobbies. Hopefully they just do that at least for private match or something like, because that'd be sick. 10v10 co-op missions in Spec Ops. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. He goes on to say the microtransaction system in Modern Warfare is identical to COD and mobile and will be across multiplayer and the co-op mode. And he's not so sure of the exact name of the mode, but it's going to be called Spec Ops or something similar to Spec Ops. Obviously, it's just a much improved version of Spec Ops back from MW2 and MW3. So, for example, one of the missions is based off of the campaign mission that a lot of the YouTubers and influencers saw, that London mission where they raid those buildings. It's pretty much based off of that, but in a different sense. Also, the London mission, the good guys will try to stop the opposing team from detonating the explosives, and the opposing team would try and hold off the good guys while they plant all of the bombs. So that would be sort of the player v player thing. So a couple guys on one team, a couple guys on the other team, and one of the terrorists and one of the good guys. Honestly, that sounds pretty sick. So we'll see how that works out here. Read Charlie Intel's description of the campaign mission. Now just swap the AI for all real players, but the core mission itself is the same. So it's pretty cool. Now also the free-to-play element that people have been speculating about is supposed to be currently for the co-op mode, but things are still subject to change and are undecided. And people were saying that obviously multiplayer could be one of the free-to-play modes, but a lot of the leakers are not so sure about this, and they're actually trying to keep information pretty tight this year. So it's really not confirmed as to what exactly they're going to make free-to-play, and they probably themselves haven't really officially confirmed what they're going to do, whether or not multiplayer is going to be free-to-play, co-op, or maybe even both. Apparently, Activision is saying that if they make co-op free-to-play, it'll be enough of an incentive to actually get people to buy the whole game, so that would be a good way to get people into playing Modern Warfare. But honestly, personally, what I think, making multiplayer free-to-play would be a huge, huge deal, and that would be a lot better in the long run. But again, still subject to change, so we'll see what happens here. Again, he goes through old characters returning. We know that already. You'll be able to rank up across the 3 modes. We do know that. The progression system spans across all the 3 modes. Now, here's the really interesting information about the campaigns being remastered, the old Modern Warfare. So they're saying now that Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3, all of those campaigns will be ported over to the new engine, but only MW2's campaign is fully ready to release. So right now they're planning on bringing all of those campaigns. Right now, MW2 is ready to release, and we do know that MW2 campaign remastered has been in development for a while now. That thing's already done. It's probably ready to release right this second, but they're probably going to either wait till later on, or maybe they're gonna, bring it early. But obviously, they're also planning on bringing over the 2 other campaigns, and we sort of thought about MW3 returning, but we didn't think they would also bring, Modern Warfare Remastered again, because that game was already remastered. So he goes on to say here, yes, they will be re-releasing Modern Warfare 1's campaign again that was already remastered, but it will now be on the new engine, so it will look even better. So that's actually really cool. Although we've played it again, having it on the new engine with new graphics definitely would be sick. So they're not so sure, and we don't really know yet how they're going to release them, or if you're going to have to, pre-order to get it, and the whole bundle situation. I mean, I personally think all 3 of those games would be on the Dark Edition, so you get Modern Warfare, and alongside you'd get all 3 of the old campaigns remastered on the new engine. I think that's what they're going to do, but obviously we don't know exactly yet, but that's obviously very cool that all of those campaigns are, eventually going to return very soon. Since MW2's campaign is already done, and we know it has been given an age rating by the ESBR, it is possible it releases as a pre-order bonus or with one of the special editions, and I just said that obviously. Again, it's likely that the 3 campaigns will be released after the launch as DLC, as the next couple months, continue after it launches in October. One thing's for sure, Activision are just pretty much undecided on what they're going to do. So since the multiplayers are not getting remastered as of now, and this is what I've said before, there will be a lot of Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3 maps added to their multiplayer. This is like I said, and they're saying right now every single MW2 multiplayer map will come to the game at some point. That's pretty crazy. I don't know, exactly how that's going to work out. Probably not on launch, probably throughout the DLC season, but they're planning on bringing a lot of these old, maps from these different games to the game, and I think that we should have expected that. If they weren't going to remaster the multiplayer, they definitely had to find a way to bring back those old multiplayer maps and just put it into Modern Warfare's multiplayer, and it looks like they're doing that. When the original Modern Warfare trilogy campaigns are released, they will be simply described as the classic Modern Warfare storyline from an alternate timeline or something to that effect. So he's also saying, I've seen Victor, and that was the Chinese leaker if you guys don't know, tweeting stuff about no MW2 Remastered. I don't know why he thinks it's not coming. He has clearly been misled somehow. The game has literally been given a rating, so it's definitely coming. As I was saying earlier, no leakers are 100% on point, but there's so much evidence here that's most likely going to happen. Activision are planning on releasing campaign DLC for Modern Warfare. Now, this is back to the main Modern Warfare storyline here. They're going to release DLC for it. That's pretty sick. They've never done that before, obviously, and they're going to see how fans are going to react. Obviously, they've gotten good feedback, and a lot of hardcore fans are definitely going to go for this campaign DLC, especially if they're putting so much, emphasis on the campaign this year. Adding DLC for it will definitely get a lot of people interested. Also, the co-op will be updated regularly with new missions, weekly challenges, and there's going to be several updates, pretty much adding as much content as possible to all of these different modes as the year progresses. And this is a combination of a bunch of different leaks we've seen about the content for this game. This ties into the no season pass. Pretty much they're going to be updating this game as much as they can, adding a ton of stuff. Hopefully it is regularly, hopefully it is as often as Fortnite does it, and we'll see exactly how that goes down. So again, thank you guys for watching. These are a bunch of huge leaks from this game. Hopefully again we do get a lot of this stuff. It's going to be pretty cool to see exactly how this game pans out, and that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.